going to test the integration of Openshift container virtualization with Portworx. So first we're going to set this template up to use our PVC that has a Fedora image in it. So we're just going to give it a path to that PVC. Now that PVC was created, it does take a long time. It streams in, so that's why we want to do this, is that you can have it stream from a registry or from the internet, but for me it took 30 plus minutes for it to do one VM, so that was not good. So we save it once, and now we're set this template to be able to clone it. So we just hit create VM. Yes, it's not supported, it's community. Right, details here. I already have auth or my key and go. Right, so it should, basically, as basic as it can be that easy, right? So it takes a couple seconds to start up. What it's doing here is cloning that PVC, which just takes, 15 seconds. And now you can see there's some, the VM is starting up. It has a service, so we can SSH into it. And I'll show you how that works here in a second. You can also view the YAML that created that, other events and logs, all kinds of cool stuff. So you can see here it's still booting. So even though it's on, we want to wait for this to finish booting. Just because it's a full VM, right? We're getting the whole boot experience of a VM. All right, so it's all booted. Let's look at one more thing, disks. You can see here the disks, the partitions that are on it. All right, I'll explain this little error in another session, but this is basically saying, because it's a read-write once PVC, we can't do a live migration. So we'll do another one on how to do live migration. All right, so now we're going to try to SSH into this. I'm going to use that key. It's going to say, hey, we want to establish something. Yes, so there you go, right? We have that 15 gig file system, and the VM is all ready to be VM'd. Great, so what do we do next, right? Is that Portworx provides, because we're able to use Stork as a scheduler, just like we would for containers, is we can actually provide faster failover than default Kubernetes for a VM, right? So it could be like a container takes a few seconds to start up. So we'll see how long it takes to force a crash. So we're going to cordon this so it doesn't try to start on the same box. We're going to force it to a box, and we're going to kill the container. So there's a few things. There's a little container that launches it, right? And when it dies, it basically kubevert will restart the container. And because we're using Stork, we're going to force it onto a node that has the replica of the data, right? So we're going to go to another node that has the copy of the data. So we're going to kill that. You see the VM crashes. It's going to take a few seconds for it to really fully delete. You'll see what happens once it's gone here. So we can see we're on this node still. And if we're patient enough, we're going to go back and look at our command line. You can see it's still in the process of terminating the pod. So if we look here, you can see it's still kind of hanging. This could be my API server is underpowered. It could be a dozen things. So it finally dies. Fail over to a new node, right? So now we're see that you can see it's a different name, different IP address, H6W7D. So we got all that. And if we come back here and SSH, it's probably going to say, I'm not ready for you yet. So let's just do this. Yeah, no root or route to host, right? Do it again because I'm impatient. If I keep doing it, it'll eventually come back. Nope. Third time's a charm. Yes. So now it's resolving to a new IP, right? So it's a little upset at me. So let's just fix that. And do it again. It's going to still say, hey, do you want to do this? Yes, yes, yes. I did it. It's me. It's not a bad guy. And we're back in. So the VM is fully available, SSHable in 2 minutes, right? So pretty nice failover. When this in Kubernetes itself would probably take several minutes to just recognize that and fail over. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and be very glad to help you. Thank you very much.